Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. I apologize for my absence the last few sessions. I was really down and out there for a little while. It's been a long time since a flu or food poisoning or something laid me out, but that was that was something. All right, so it looks like the last couple of sessions, Friday's and Monday's session, both reasonably strong rally days. Yesterday, Monday, the market did kind of slow down a little bit, move a little bit sideways going into the close. Relatively quiet through the Asian session, then picked up a little bit through the overnight and European session. And as such, we have a little bit of a gap now to the downside, just below the market. But we just opened up, so I'm going to give them a few minutes here to sort things out. I'm not usually a fan of hopping in too early. For those of you who are, however, if you're following that first in-sync eagle signal, I think we're going to be looking for a buy signal to form here. That's because our trading band is bullish. Likewise, you Raptor traders who are trying to simulate that on the Raptor, our band is stacked in a very slight bullish fashion. So I would say your first in-sync signal is probably going to be a buy signal, although maybe we're working on an early cloud crossover here. So looks like the market a little bit conflicted at the moment. We may just have to wait a little longer. Before we try anything. Lots of yellow bars in the Hawk, and the Falcon also breaking up quite a bit. The Eagle really just looking like a mess here. Everything suggesting the market is conflicted. All right, so here was now that first in-sync Eagle signal. Right here. Oh, very nice. Quick little follow through to the upside. Don't know if we're quite to the profit objective yet. Nope, not quite. And here now, it looks like on the Raptor, we're going to try to produce that first in-sync signal. It's a cloud crossover signal, a crossover buy. And we have an opportunity at a second push on this one. Oh, and it looks like I can even frame the trade and enter above the high this morning and cover below the low. So that's always interesting. All right, looks like I can close that trade down. The Hawk getting more bearish, as is the Falcon. We're working on a trend change signal here on the Falcon. Don't have the completed signal just yet. It looks like it's about to print. Going to get a cloud crossover now to the short side on the Raptor. Oh, maybe not. Well, look at that. We have a sideways market. I'm not a big fan of sideways markets for obvious reasons. Maybe watching this one for a little while until we see how it breaks out. All right, challenging the lows of the morning. Looks like they're fading a bit, maybe getting into that gap that I was mentioning earlier, or trying to get into that gap. Volatility is certainly here this morning, but no follow through. I don't normally trade ranges, but a favorite way to trade ranges is once you've identified that the market is moving in a sideways fashion, is to try to buy it somewhere here in this bottom third, bottom quarter, sell it somewhere in that top quarter, and just look for a quick little move. Quick little move being the operative word. You don't want to hang on for a big move here. It may develop into a big move, but generally you grab anywhere from $50 to $100 and be thankful you get that. I may be holding on for a little bit more evidence of a breakout. When I was looking over my charts before I opened the room here this morning, it looked like yesterday did a similar thing. The market tailing off early only to recover after opening range and putting the boots to the sellers. Okay, here's an early buy signal again, this number 2 signal. Shorter term counter trend, longer term it would be with trend, and you do get a second push on this one as well. if we're still in a sideways range, of course, the market should try to get back, sometime should try to get back to the top end of the trading range. Somewhere back up here. Okay, the Raptor now producing a number 3 signal. That's a sell signal, a continuation signal. And here we come with another number 2 signal, another counter trend. The number 2 signal after a number 3 signal tends to be a little bit more reliable. I don't know if I should go for 2 contracts on this. I might entertain a single. And this is fairly aggressive. All right, we'll throw it in there. This is actually a bracket style trade as well, because we've got a buy signal, right? We've got the counter trend signals, the number 2s, we've got the number 3 signals. You could actually bracket this range and buy above 69.13, sell below the low around 69.05. Whichever way the market goes from here, it will probably see a little bit of follow through. I'm not sure we're going to see a monster move, but a little follow through does seem likely. All right, and there they go. So they obviously were not ready to commit to the buy side just yet. Scott here's got a question about the trend change signal. Scott asked, looking to learn the trend change signal better, say in a trend short, and then it signals a get ready green dot long, then green arrow and hash mark, then turns back down to the downtrend. How important is it not to have bars between the long backed short signals? And is it bars in between that cause the late filter? All right. First, let's take a look at what is a trend change signal. And I'm going to try to find you a textbook one. Here we go. This signal right here is the trend change signal. It's essentially, in one way you can think of it, it's the first signal that is in sync after the trend line changes color. So the way the trend change signal works is you get this push that changes the trend line color. In this case, from red to green. Then you get the counter move. This shows you, let me roll this over. This shows you that the sellers are trying to regain the trend. Next comes the important part of the signal. Who is actually in control of the market? Are the sellers going to recover the trend, or are the buyers going to hold the new direction? If the buyers are going to hold the new direction, they're going to push it back and you're going to generate a signal. So there's your trend change signal. Here is a trend change signal to the short side. So the trend line changes color from green to red. There's the counter move. This is the buyers showing what they got. And then this is the sellers coming back and saying, nope, we're stronger. And they produce the trend change signal to the short side. Now, there is such a thing as an early trend change signal. And that's when the signal develops just as the trend line is starting to make its crossover. It's a more aggressive signal. It can be very profitable, but like I said, it's also more aggressive. The key is that you have that same up, down, up pattern preceding it. You're always looking for a test of the extreme and evidence that one side is stronger than the other. For me personally, I rarely take the early trend change signal unless, conditions look really good. Let's say, down here, the market comes down, it's trading back at what looks to be a significant support point. And if I'm watching this, oh, okay, well, the signal printed late, the trend line was still green. But let's say pretend for a moment the signal printed right here. I may have considered that just based on how the chart is building. And you see, I have my little failure right here, my little up, down, up, and evidence that the buyers are stronger. But like I said, for me personally, I rarely do the early trend change signal. I think Mark is a lot more aggressive that way. I think he picks up the early trend change signal a lot. Here's an early trend change signal right here. So we have the down, up, down push, but it began while the trend line was still green. It completed when the trend line was red. So this is what I would refer to as an early trend change signal. And well, had this one developed down here, that would have been the proper trend change signal, because here is the push that changes the trend line color from green to red. Here's the counter move, and then here is the move that generates the signal. Scott asks, and it's only for the first pullback after the moving average changes color. Any further ones are just touches and not as strong. That is correct. The trend change signal is when the trend initially changes. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Oh, trend change signal right there. And on the buy side, no less. Sometimes the trend change signal gets a little squashed looking when the market is in a sideways drift. But it tends to be fairly reliable, because what happens when the market is struggling to change direction they're going to give it all they got, right? So here the market in a slow downward drift. Here come the buyers. They changed the trend line. They changed the short-term momentum enough that the trend line changes color. So there's the up push, there's the down push, there's the up push. The buyers are going to throw everything they got at this. Is it going to turn into a full trend change or not? Well, I don't really care so long as it gets to my profit target. But knowing that the buyers are going to really try to run the market now, that's a trade I want to try to take advantage of. And you can see that we did get up there and find the profit objective. So that's what makes the trend change signal so powerful, is that you can be reasonably sure the market is going to try to show you some follow through there. And Scott made the comment about the bars in between that cause a late filter entry. Again, here, let's try to find a cleaner looking late filter entry. There's one right here. The key with the late filter entry is that the filter will change color and come back into sync. However, the trend line itself never changes color. You will find that the late filter entries where the trend line tends to be a little bit flatter versus a little bit more vertical are going to have better follow through. Both these signals working out, but the flatter trend line more desirable. Let's see if I can find another one. And you know, folks, you got to temper these things with market context as well, right? If you're looking at your chart and it looks like this, don't write me and say, why did that late filter entry signal not work out? Well, it probably didn't work out because you're in a slow sideways grind. That's why. You're in a very tight little sideways trading range. All these things must always be tempered with context. What is your trend? Is there a trend? What's the big trend? Pull up an hourly chart or a daily chart. Here's a daily. What does the big trend look like? Is there a big trend? Okay, we made the push back to the high of the morning. Missed the move I was waiting for. Way to go, Scott. Just teasing. I was looking for that buy opportunity. Why a buy? Well, because again, what's the big trend? Well, to me, the big trend seems up. I think at the very least, the market is looking sideways. Buyers are controlling this last swing. So I would anticipate a move back to 7,000-ish. That's where the sellers are going to get much more aggressive. So unfortunately here for that first in-sync eagle trade this morning, we had the right idea, wherever it was, somewhere around here. Had the right idea, very unlikely you would have been able to ride out that pullback. Equally as unlikely that you would have caught this move on the eagle. No real clue from the eagle that that rally was going to come. But hey, that's why we have different tools. Okay, the market on a tear now. And given this very broad range, it's going to be difficult to cover, to say the least. The Falcon producing a trend line touch signal. Well, in the midst of producing a trend line touch signal, we haven't produced it yet. We do have the warning dot coming and going. A little bit more aggressive shorting now, or perhaps profit taking. The Russell weighing a little heavy this morning in spite of the rally in the NASDAQ. Not that that's, a big deal one way or the other, but the stock indices do have a tendency to move together. Much of the time. I think I'm going to wait them out here a little bit, though. Wait for a better looking signal, maybe a hard edge bounce. And I realized that it could just power on through here. Yeah, there they go. Oh, well. Okay, here now the counter trend. Okay, so here now, a little bit of a pushback. Looks like we're going to get to the hard edge. I'm not sure I would get crazy about shorting it just yet. It was a fairly aggressive move higher we saw. Back now to one of our primary lines here from the support and resistance suite. Let's see, all that added volatility, we've got some very broad lines printing, so we're back to the primary resistance now. Okay, back into the hard edge on the Raptor and the Eagle. This is always where we anticipate some sort of reaction. Again, I'm not going to be really quick to jump on anything here. The Eagle's producing a red bar buy signal, so if you're a little bit more aggressive on this market, you can certainly look to buy as the signal forms, which will be at 69.23. We'll see if the eagle gives me a second push. And here now the wrapper also producing a hard edge bounce. So we got the same kind of idea going on both those. Well, they're still fighting it. Okay, looks like I can close that out. Well, there we go. We're kind of stuck again. Thought we were going to see a bullish rally there for a moment. Didn't quite work out that way, though. Not yet, anyhow. There's been a few hawk signals here this morning. If you were quick enough to get on board some of those little scalps. Overall, however, it looks like we have a little bit of a conflicted market still. All right, here we go. Another possible trend change. Okay, there's the number 2 signal. And we do have a chance at a second push on this one. This is going to be a little bit dicey. We've got half of our tools looking bullish, the other half looking a little bit bearish. Do we want to submit that yet? Or is the market still gonna slide lower? All right, well, here we go. Oh, they didn't slip me. Good. So technically, this number 2 signal is counter trend because the number 2 signals are counter trend signals. But I'm looking at the bigger trend, and I'm hoping that on the big trend, which is up, this would actually be a with trend signal. Here's a bigger second push entry if you want to be a little safer, entering above the 69.21 quarter, which is where my break-even trigger is at. If the market trades above there, there's a very good chance it will continue higher. In fact, I could extend my profit target a little bit even. If I wanted to try to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe try to take it back here toward that swing high, or even toward the high of the morning. But maybe I won't get too greedy. So you can see we would have found the high probability profit objective already, and I'm running a more aggressive bar high-low strategy. Try to lock in some of that open profit. You know what? We don't have much going on here this morning. I'll try to run this out. If it lets me. Ooh, spoke too soon. Come on. Let's get a little bull push there. Well, a lot of activity here around 69.20, 21.22. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Julian says there's a tight market here as well. Lots of buyers and sellers hovering around this 69.20 to 25 region. And you can kind of see it just the way the market is behaving. All right, well, got a little bit of an uptick there. This is kind of decision time for the market now. If they fail at this point to continue to rally the market higher, then there's a pretty good indication that the market will try to head lower again. And here they come on the reverse. Oh, spoke too soon, as usual. The full reverse won't occur until the market takes out this low down here at 69.08. Okay, the eagle showing a green bar sell. So the eagle teeing up for something more bearish to come. And here now the hawk, the first micro macro cross lower. It's into yellow bars. All right, well, it looked as though the sellers were going to give it a go there, and no follow through. Really a sideways, bumpy kind of day today. Tough market to get a read on. All right, here come the buyers again at the high of the morning. Producing a cloud crossover signal. And we do have a second push entry on that, which not a big surprise. And it looks like that's tailing off as well. So very characteristic of a sideways trading range style market. I'm not sure. I am not sure about this number one signal. Not that it isn't a valid signal. It is. What I'm not sure about is that kind of stop. Even though I know it's an initial stop, and I always tell you you shouldn't be too worried about the size of your initial stop. It's just your safety net. But that's still a long ways to fall if the market isn't going to commit to a breakout. So I guess when in doubt, stay out. There's always going to be another signal soon. a little bit more structure as they come back for another push at the highs. I'm thinking there could be some follow through there. After this little swing right here where the sellers tried to move it lower and the buyers came back rather quickly. Well, there you go. At least enough to find your high probability profit target. And maybe more. Or am I going to get caught on my back foot? Well, they're thinking about it. They're not moving too fast higher or lower right now. These follow-up signals that we're seeing here now on the Hawk, the Falcon, the Raptor, they're just that. Those are your discretionary signals. They tell you the signal parameters have been met, but they don't necessarily qualify as what we would refer to as one of our high probability signals. They are at your discretion. Getting a little bit sideways drift going on again. So buyers and sellers fairly evenly matched near the highs of the morning. Okay, getting red bar buying now. Falcon trend line changing. Now we're just stuck. Okay, a little bit of a pullback. What I'll be looking for now is a test of the extreme and signs of a failure. That could open up the possibility of a reversal. It is about an hour into the session, so very often this is where we will see the market change direction, but we don't really have a direction to change. So I hesitate even to say that. You could read the Raptor either way, bullish or bearish. Yeah, this lack of follow through just wild today. This is the kind of day that will send traders around the bend. right, buyers, what have you got? There's the number 3. Are you going to push it? Uh-oh, did I get in too early? Uh-oh. I might have got into this trade a little bit too early. I should have waited for that second push to develop. We're holding the lows so far. Don't know for how much longer, though. So we're producing a counter trend signal now. That's a number 2 signal, which is going to weigh heavy on my buying attempt. Really looking for that hard edge to come through. If that hard edge fails, I think I'm going to get run over. Difficult trading day today, no question about it. This is starting to smack of a sideways trend. A smaller sideways trend, something like that. Because when we saw the market break the low here, we saw the quick recovery. what that tells me is that there were initial sellers here. Maybe they sold the breakout of this swing low, these swing lows here. Sellers did, only to watch the market reverse. And they're hoping and praying, please, please, please let the market come down one more time so I can get out of my position. So the market does come down one more time. They exit their short position. Well, that's a buy order, right? And then we bounce back up. That's how sideways trading ranges develop, if you didn't know. Lots of foxhole prayers go on in sideways trading ranges. All right, well, the low's still holding for now. Well, they're not going to let me away with it. I thought I was going to be able to ride this one out, but it's not looking that way right now. Looks like they give me a bit of a spank there. And now the market getting ready to perhaps reverse on itself. And head a little lower. Maybe. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit more sideways trading. I was just about to point out this cloud crossover signal to you. There's a pretty good chance the market's going to try to head a little bit lower. I'm not going to be flip-flopping on my orders right now. but it does appear that way, that we're going to see the market try to get back somewhere near the lows of the morning. That seems to be how it's setting up anyhow. Gonna knock some of the rust off after being on the sidelines for a few days. Here on the Falcon, actually a textbook trend change signal to start that move lower. So you can see the market waffling, trying to get higher, can't do it, try to get lower. Okay, it produced a signal here. Stops ideally at least above this swing, ideally 2 swings back. Here the buyers try to come back again, can't do it. So there were suggestions here on the Falcon that perhaps the market was going to try to get lower from there. Which it did do. Now we're coming back with a basic trend line touch back into the trend line. We'll see if they come out of here with a sell signal. That would be your continuation signal. That's the Falcon equivalent of a hard edge bounce on your Raptor, a number 3 signal. Not sure we're going to get another trade off here this morning, almost near the top of the hour. As we slide into that lunch hour time. Here, I'll demo the trendline touch signal for you. Oh, got a little slippage on that. That's unusual too. We don't usually see slippage in a market like the NASDAQ. That just kind of goes to the nature of the market today. The indecisive nature. What was the volume like here today? Let's take a look at that daily again. Oh yeah, you can see the volume way off so far today. Day not over yet. But volume very, very light on what's trying to be a rally day. Yesterday, volume kind of light. The day before that, volume a little bit stronger, which tends to happen on reversal days as well. Volume tends to be a little bit stronger. But right now, well, there's modest market participation on the buy side. I wouldn't call it strong, but it's there. And here we are with that trend line touch signal. And again, the context important for those kinds of trades. You want something resembling a trend. No, didn't give it to me. Stinkers. All right, gang, I think that's where we'll wrap it up for today. If you're going to continue trading this afternoon, sideways market, I think, is what we've got. So don't expect nice trending moves higher or lower. I think it's going to be a little bit of a painful grind each way. The market will squeak out some sort of direction, but it's going to be tough slogging for the most part. All right, I will see you again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.